Hey everybody, how are we doing? So in James's video, it mentioned how you should communicate and knock on those doors and be a little bit more forward. So I think the $1 billion question that we're all wondering is, how do we do that? How do we be more American in our approach and yet step away from coming across as being super pushy and annoying? And also, I would like to add on desperate and yeah. Coming from a DJ background and event producer background, I'm going to share some past experiences that I've had where that question comes into play. A few times when I walk in some of the venues, what I immediately do is I'll have my business card. I get them printed via Vistaprint. Super great, super affordable. Great designs. I personally love their work. And I'll ask, who's the talent buyer? Who do I talk to about booking, playing at this venue? And then they'll either tell me that they're not in, but there's a contact info, or they'll give me a business card. I also give them mine. And then I reach out to those people, and some of them are like, heck yeah, we'll book you for this event. Let's do it. Because then also, what kind of information do I put in when I'm talking to talent buyers? I'll say, my name is Lady Arys. I'm a DJ. I'm also a multifaceted DJ. Well, I'll say I'm a multi-genre DJ. Mainly play EDM music, though, which covers the house, the trance, the hard style, the drum and bass, right? EDM is just electronically dance. It's electronic dance music. So I use less words to respect their time. So all they have to do is be like, here's who this DJ is. Her name is Lady Arys. Here's her 20-minute mix. Now, 20 minutes is how I like to receive a lot of mixes too, because listening to an hour and a half mix, like, I'm just not even going to listen to it. Or in the past, when I didn't have that boundary, I just listened to part of it. Because I'm not going to have over 80 submissions from artists wanting to play at my events and go through all that. So, I usually keep it under 20, 15 to 20 minutes. You can still fit in a lot of songs, still get a lot of meat to that mix, and also showcase your mixing, your EQ style. Sometimes people's EQing is horrible, and also it needs work. So what I do is then I'll be like, okay. Here's my feedback on your mix and your current style. Things are a little bit too sharp, and you need to temper this, bring this down a little bit, and work on this. And then I'll actually give people mixing mixing tips, and then I'll support them because I want to book people. I want to be that talent, buyer myself for my events and give people constructive feedback, and support my local community and those in it. So if there's something that you have that needs to be worked on, then I will take some time to send that off and say, look, work on this, send it to me again, and if it's better, then I book them. Because I want to be able to support people. So 20 minutes. After I put my mix, then I share my demographic. I currently have 80 to 100, sometimes 120 people coming to see me. Really depends on who's playing and availability, but minimum I have 80 people that come in. Now, with the venues, they want to see that you can bring in a lot of people. That's how they make sales. That as an event producer, I do book DJs that have a pretty big following, but then also for my openers, I remember when I didn't have a big following in my openers, and my closer is allowed to not have as many followers just because you need that experience regardless of your following. It's good for them to also get a bigger demographic and have a lot more fans interacting with their content. And now, people again are building the relationships with communities. So when they say DJ da is playing, then they're like, heck yeah, I want to go by. Let's go. They're playing. This dude was awesome, right? And so my openers, usually there's 2 or 3 slots, sometimes a closer, again, too. I'll have them do stuff. And honestly, being a closer is pretty cool because you continue the great vibes, but then you also wind people down. And so it's actually, I like closing at times. So communication, sharing all that info, sharing your socials like your Insta and your Facebook can also be helpful because then, again, most people who aren't like me just want to see a bunch of followers and also engagement and, be able to see how much you're booking. Not every talent buyer or event producer is like that, but at least for me, there's a balance of my headliners. Have a big following. Also, the newer headliner too, or some of those openers, like I'll have at least two artists who don't really have a big following, and I'll book them because, again, I want to give back what I had and give that out to other people. When people don't immediately get back to me, then I usually give them about a week. Then I'll say, hey, just following up, Lady Arys here. Sorry, my brain just. I'm actually waking up and I'm getting ready for my day, so excuse me. I say, hey, just following up, Lady Arys here. I'm interested in playing in your venue. Let me know if you're interested. And I also say, I'm an event producer too, so I'm always interested in working more with more venues to be able to throw some pretty cool events. And then say, I hope you have a nice day. Talk soon. And then the third time, I'm going to say, so I actually have some availability in the schedules in August and October. I usually need to be booked at least a month in advance minimum so that then I can get that on my schedule, put that on my calendar. And even if it's a little bit farther in advance too, it gives me a lot more opportunity to come up with some really cool flyers too instead of always just using theirs and promote a lot more. So, when I talk like that, that's actually me being a lot more pushier instead of a checking in, hey, what's up? It's like a hello, I'm still here. But then the I need a timeline is me actually pushing them. And if they're interested in booking me and they've just been busy, then they'll either reach out or they won't. Now, I only reach out 3 times because I'm not just going to keep knocking on a door that isn't going to do that. And that takes about a 3 to 4 week span of me just sending those 3 messages throughout a little bit. Now, occasionally venues might just be happy with the current artist that they have. Maybe there's a lot of current event producers, so a few months later I'll do another check-in, then another few months later, whatever, I'll throw it in if I'm really interested. And sometimes that's what it takes. Sometimes it doesn't though. So manage your time because most people look at money as your currency, which is true. But your time, your focus, and your energy are also currencies that you don't get back. And for me, it comes across as very refined, but also, oh my God, please book me. You're not going to get back to me. You're not interested in booking me. It's the way I said that. It's very elegantly classy, if that makes sense, and how I usually DJ. How I usually build those DJ connections. Now, most people, again, if they're interested in booking, then they get back to me really fast. So take that with a grain of salt. And I would suggest, if you ever want to go back and pay attention to the words that I use, it helps. There are psychology tips and tricks to push hard, but also to do the, hey, what's up? My name's Lady Arys. I'm interested in playing at your venue. And then wait for a bit, and then also, hey, I'm still here, through that, hey, just checking in. And then also, it's either if you're interested, book me, here's the pressure, here's the loop. I've done a few different things. I've done the hook, and it's either going through the skin or not. Because when you hook, it's marketing. It's not really the skin itself, but you know what I mean. So if they don't get back to you, just go on to the next thing. And don't put all your eggs in one basket. Go immerse yourself in different venues. Go check out all the different kinds of places. Networking helps, yes. I have a lot of friends in the security and the promoter business now. Also other DJs who get booked and they're like, sure, we'll get you in. Or your set was so awesome last time. I listened to your mix. I'm going to put in a good word for you. And either it gets me booked or it doesn't sometimes. There's a lot of things that it takes time, it takes consistency. I have videos of people dancing. I have really great mixes so that when they see my socials, they see all the people dancing. They're seeing that, people are interacting with my content. The way that I communicated with the talent buyers and event people, producers, is how I would also like to be talked to as well, excuse me, not promoted, how I would like to be communicated with. Now, I'm also, I think, a lot more like nicer. I think, not to compare myself, but I am nice. Like, I'm one of those event producer. Wow. I'm one of the event producers that will get back to you even if I'm not interested, or I'll give feedback if I can, and then sometimes I'm just really busy. So if I don't get back within a bit, I usually try and get back to people by the fifth day, just because they'll be like, "Hey, sorry for taking so long. We already have all our artists booked. I'll keep you in mind for next time though, because there's a lot of artists that are really awesome that I just don't book for that event, but then I'll want to keep a relationship with them so that when I have another venue that also their genre will fit really cool, or maybe, I just booked already, then I'll be like, reaching out to them and be like, hey, we're doing this event at this time. I usually give them at least 2 to 3 months in advance, just because the longer, sometimes the better. Sometimes I book things in a whole year in advance, just because. So the earlier, the better, and the better you have a chance of getting that DJ there or that producer, music producer, at your event, and working with people. There, I think that's all I have to say for now. I hope that this made sense. Um, and I want to hear, did that communication style work for you if you ever ended up using it? Also, if you have any comments on how you would communicate with somebody, and if there are ever any other event producers here who want to throw in some wisdom in and other DJs and talent buyers, if you want to throw in wisdom in the comment section, please do. Let's keep it positive, uplifting, and respectful and constructive. Have a beautiful weekend, everybody.